Hello, this is the Crunch Fat, and this is part 3 of What If Female Deku was Tiamat from D&D. Now, where we last left off, Izumi had just completed Tiamat had just finished the entrance exam. Actually, you know what? Izumi's going to be her normal name, and Tiamat's going to be her hero name. There, I sorted that problem out. As Izumi would be waiting for her exam results, as Ryoko would come in and say that the results for the entrance exam have come in, as Izumi would immediately walk up to Ryoko, grab the letter, and thank her, as they would both sit down and then begin to open the letter. As a small disc would come out, as it would show with All Might, as he'd explain that Tiamat had gotten first place within the entrance exam, and that she has been accepted into Class 1A. Hold on. As All Might then continued along with his speech, as he'd say, "Welcome to your Hero Academia." Also, I saw in the comments that a lot of you wanted the ship to be Godzilla for some reason. But okay, I'll do it. Your wish is my command. Hold on, let me get his image. Alright, this is what he looks like. Alright, so anyway, let's get back to What If. Alright, let's continue. As Izumi would be very excited that she is going to UA. As we'll then cut to the next day, as Izumi is getting ready to head to UA, as she would head there with Ryoko, since she is a teacher there. As they had arrived at the school, and Izumi is looking for Class 1A, with her immediately getting there and seeing Aizawa is asleep, and since she had arrived there first and it was still really early in the morning, she decided to sit down at her desk and take a nap. As when she wakes up, everybody else is in the class. As Aizawa then wakes up. Hold on. Alright, sorry about that. As Aizawa would wake up, as he would tell all of them to shut up, and that they were being too noisy, except for you, as he would point towards Izumi. As he would say that he is Shota Aizawa, he is their homeroom teacher. And as he would then say that they would be doing a quirk assessment today, with Araka piping up and saying, what about the orientation? As I would say that we don't have time for that. Also, he would also explain that the dorms had already been introduced for the Hero Course students, and that they will be taken there after school has ended. With Izumi realizing that everything she has is at home, she immediately begins to panic. As Aizawa would then bring out the gym uniform, as he'd tell them, say, "Alright, now all of you go get changed and meet me out of the testing grounds." As Izumi would immediately reach out and grab it, and hold on. Alright, sorry about that, I had to grab the spell book. As Izumi would immediately head down to the changing rooms and begin to get changed. as she had noticed a hole in the wall. As Izumi would then put her hand over it, as she would put down a delayed blast fireball in the hole. As just as she predicted, somebody would begin to peek through it, this person being Mineta. As Izumi would immediately snap her fingers, as the explosion would go off, hitting as the smoke would hit Mineta in the eye, as they'd begin to scream. Not like a pain, like a pain scream, but more like a ow, this stings, rather than a oh god, my arm is gone type of scream. That's how I differentiate my screams. If it's like a panic scream or a pained scream. As Izumi would then finish getting changed, as she would then head out to the testing grounds, with Aizawa then throwing the ball to Izumi, as he would ask her how far was she able to throw in middle school, as Izumi would say about 400 meters. Why? As Aizawa would say, try it with your quirk. As Izumi would get up to the circle, as she's about to throw the ball, Bakugo is thinking, there's no way that damn villain can get further than me. As just as she is about to throw the ball, she says to herself, gate. As a portal would open, as like a gateway would open up, as the ball would go through it, as Aizawa looks down at his track reader, as it would come up with infinity, with Aizawa then showing it to the rest of the class, as everybody is surprised, as they would then ask, where did it go? As Izumi would say that she doesn't really know. She just thought of a random place and then opened up a gate to it. So it could either be in the ethereal plane, a plane of nothing but fire, or Mount Fuji. It really depends. As Izumi would then head back, as everybody but Bakugo is basically thinking, she is terrifying. As they would continue with the tests, with Izumi placing first in a lot of them, including the side to side, because she's just using blink rapidly. As the results for the quirk assessment would come up on the board, with Mineta being in last, as he is expelled from UA. As Aizawa would then tell them to get changed back into their uniforms and head back to class. As the day would come to a close, Izumi would head to the dorm area along with everyone else. As Izumi would look and see a bunch of boxes with her name on them, as she would realize that Ryoko had probably brought them with her. As Izumi would snap her fingers, as a bunch of mage hands would show up, as they'd all carry the boxes inside. If people are thinking, how many quirks does this girl have? As Bakugo's getting angry because he didn't know Izumi had this many quirks, and he thought and his superiority complex make him think he's better than everyone else. As Izumi would take her stuff to her room, everybody else's stuff was in their rooms, as Izumi would begin to unpack her stuff, including all of her musical equipment, which it included the microphone and headphones that you see in the picture right here. As she also has some posters of her older sister Ryoko in her room as well, and a lot of books, like mainly like old-fashioned Greek stuff, and Babylonian stuff. So like Greek stuff on alchemy and how I think it was the Greeks who came up with the idea of the Philosopher's Stone, if I remember correctly. If not, make a correction down in the comments. And a lot of Babylonian stuff on the Babylonian goddess Tiamat. As Tiamat would immediately hear a knocking on her door, as she'd go to see, and it's everybody from Class 1A, as Mina would say that they're having a competition on judging their dorm rooms, and ask if Tiamat would like to join in. If Izumi would like to join in. As Izumi would say, nah, she's fine, and she begins to close the door, with Mina basically putting her foot in the doorway to stop it from closing. As Mina would say, come on, it'll be fun. With Tiamat saying, fine, then who's first? Because I'd prefer to go last. As Mina would say, okay, well, we'll do last anyway, let's go to their dorm rooms. As everybody's dorm rooms was as they were in canon, and then they get to Izumi's room, with them immediately opening the room and seeing a bunch of sound equipment, including the microphone and headphones, along with a lot of books and a few posters of Ryuko, and a fairly large bed. As Mina would say, so I'm guessing you're a fan of Ryuko, the dragon hero Ryuko. As Izumi would then say, why wouldn't I be a fan of my sister? As everyone would immediately turn around, as they would all say at once, in unison, your sister is a dragon hero? As Izumi would say, yeah, I thought it was pretty obvious. I mean, we both have dragon quirks. As everyone would say, oh yeah, that's right. Apart from Bakugo, would say, oh yeah, that's right, we never got the name of your quirk. What is it? As Izumi would say that her quirk is called the Queen of Dragons. And everybody would find that pretty cool. As Aizawa would then say, sorry about that, as Aizawa would say, alright brats, we got a student in from class 1B. As they would all turn around and see this, as he would say that his name was Alexander, but his friends called him Gojira. As Tiamat would immediately walk up to introduce herself, saying that her name was Izumi, and that it's a pleasure to meet him. As Alexander would say that the pleasure is all his, as he'd shake her hand in return. And that is where I'm going to end this part off. I do hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you all next time.